Here with Greg Bates. All right, so where did you get your start? You're from where?
I grew up in Nashville. I'm one of the 5, I think, that actually grew up there.
Is that harder or easier as an artist to get going?
It's it's not any harder. It's not any easier. I think it's because I grew up a little bit outside of town, and we never really made it into town as often as everybody thinks you would growing up that close. And I think it's one of those things where it doesn't make it any easier growing up around there. When
people ask you, should I move to Nashville to break in?
Mm-hmm.
What do you say?
I say, you gotta make sure that you're not tied down in any other respects, because when you move there and you're gonna want to make a career out of it, you gotta give it 110%. You gotta be able to do that.
Yeah. What was your real big break?
For me, I went to Belmont University in Nashville and did the music business program there, and just around my junior year, I started meeting a lot of publishers and meeting a lot of people in the music industry. And I met Jody Williams, who works at BMI in Nashville, and he kind of got the ball rolling big time for me.
How many people in Belmont are trying to be artists? Are there a lot? I mean, I hear a lot of people saying, I went to Belmont, or talking about going to Belmont.
There's a lot that want to be artists, and I think it's one of those things where you've really got to want it, and you've really got to work at it. Even when you're in school, you can't get caught up in the bubble that is Belmont, and you got to get outside the walls and go meet people.
Who have been your big influences in music?
I grew up on 90s country, so Randy Travis, Alan Jackson, George Strait, Clint Black, all those guys.
You say, growing up in Nashville, do you have a different perspective on some of that stuff?
I think so, because I grew up around songwriters. I grew up going to writers' rounds and hearing hit songs from the songwriter's perspective early on, even before I picked up a guitar. And so I definitely think that was a unique perspective on the music industry.
All right, how do you keep sane on the road these days?
Well, it's making sure you get a lot of sleep and having good people around you. I think that's the main thing for me, and just making sure we have fun and cut up and make fun of each other. I think that's a big thing.
Your most used, do you have a smartphone?
I do. I actually just got an iPhone. I just joined the rest of the world. So
have you a favorite app yet?
I love, I'm really addicted to this new game called Draw Something that everybody seems to be addicted to. And so it kind of keeps me connected with a lot of people on the road that I meet and a lot of people back home.
All right, so when people see Greg on the road, ask him to play Draw Something.
Absolutely.
And you'll be in the network.